Inside zone is one of the most versatile plays in football. There's a ton of ways you can run it, a bunch of different personnels you can get into, different backfield actions, motions, all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do today is look at a handful of different ways that you can run inside zone in your offense. I'll slightly touch on the rules here and there, but that's not really what this video is for. If you want to learn the basics of inside zone, just watch my how-to series. I cover a ton of different concepts in there, and inside zone is one of them. All you have to do if you want to watch it is just YouTube how to run inside zone, and you probably see it. Now, the reason that this type of video is so important is because this is how you need to look at your offense. As the expression goes, formations are cheap, concepts are expensive. So one of your goals as an OC, once you create your concept buckets, and by the way, you'll probably have to cut that down a bit because you don't need too many things. If you have counter, power, trap, inside zone, outside zone, duo, wham, draw, pin and pull, ISO, if you have all that stuff and you're not in the NFL, you have way too much. But once you have your concept buckets, you need to find a way to run those few concepts in as many ways as possible. With inside zone specifically, this means that you're going to be teaching less for the big guys. It's going to be the same reads for the running back and very similar backfield actions, even if it changes a bit, but it'll look totally different from a defense's perspective. And then when you compound that with every single concept that you have in your offense, you can run what looks like a very intense, complex college level offense while being very simple terminology wise. This is what we need to do as offensive coordinators. So what we're going to do in this one is we're going to look at how these coaches are running all their versions of inside zone, and we can steal a little bit from that. And if you're super nerdy about this stuff and you make it all the way to the end of the video, I have a really cool resource that I want to share with you. But first, let's jump into the video. Alrighty, so here is the first one, okay? So we have this little quick motion back, back and forth. You can always add things like that. Now, what we have here is a inside zone with a bluff. Now, this isn't just him working off and blocking. He's actually running a burst type of corner route, whatever you want to call it. But he's got this flat route. So now we essentially have a high-low over here if we want to take that. But we're going to run the inside zone. I think this guy's actually just working out just to create chaos here for no reason, just drawing people out of the box. Actually, I think with this, if they're in man coverage, he's going to run out as well. So that actually changes how the numbers are in the box. But what we have here is just a little inside zone with the tight end slipping out into the flats. This is a key moment, right? This is 4th and 1, 4th and 2. And we have, instead of a basic inside zone, now we've got a situation where we can pull, fire. We end up getting 20 yards or so off of it against my favorite team, the Dolphins. Really bummer of a play here, but good job by the OC. Let's take a look at it from this example, or this view here. So there's our inside zone here. Boom. He could either block and kick this guy out, because this is what you'll also see on a lot of split zones. You'll see this guy work across. We'll look at some examples of that. And then essentially he could be breaking in here or pressing vertical, and this guy would they would force him to make the tackle. But in this case, he probably would just press in there. But because we can bluff that and have that leak outside, that's a really nice play. Okay, next version here. We have a inside zone where this time we're actually blocking the backside C-gap defender. So there's no read in this. All right, we're automatically blocking these guys, doubling up, and then we're going to force the corner to make a tackle here. That's not a thing he wants to do, okay? Corners do not do that well. So from an offensive coordinator perspective, let's take their worst tackler and put him in a position where if they're gonna make the tackle, it's a safety all the way downfield who's gonna have to come up, or it's a corner, and that's not what he wants to do. Now, this is a nub look. We got bunch over here. So technically, if they wanted to, they could have taken, I'm not sure how they're blocking this, but you could do this here and have a cross block. You could have this be, so what do? So they just do a 2-for-2 here, kind of pass it off. If they wanted to throw this, they could throw this as an RPO. That'd be a pre-snap read. I think because these two are both here and it's very aggressive, they don't pull the trigger on this because they do have numbers in the box. So this is a really good play design here. Now, next one, we've got this quick motion out. So it looks like it's potentially going to be a jet. You could snap it here and go kick out. You could have this, make this look like the jet action. They end up doing kind of a fly motion, however you want to call this, where he gets all the way out, and now they have what looks like a bunch look. And now here they cross block this, so they have that same thing over here, and then now they're running their inside zone this direction. They're going to read this backside. Now, because he ends up getting inside, let's take a look at this. Because he ends up crashing inside, he's going to take this. Whoever the backer is, that's supposed to be helping out with this, he ends up widening out too much, so he's no longer in the play. So look at this space that's created by this. Think about if they were to just have snapped the ball right now and he works over. This is not the same type of spacing, but because they add this motion, this is something that you'll see if you've never motioned before and you start adding motion, you can really create a ton of space in the box just by using those motions. Now, this isn't an amazing play by any means. This isn't unbelievable, but he's not going to get touched until he's 3 to 4 yards downfield with a head of steam, and he is going to end up getting 5 yards. That's a great play. I mean, we'll take that consistently as an offensive coordinator if we can. All right, here's another example. We have this motion here. This is a little bit of a big inside zone. Let's take a look at it from this angle. So we've got a big body outside. He's going to motion in. I want you to look at where they snap it right here. So he's outside the box. Now we're going to run an inside zone here. Okay, to the right, we have this guy working to kick out, and then we add an extra body inserting inside. So it looks very similar to a counter type of look, but in this case here, we just add that extra body in there, and then off we go. This is a really good situation. They're on the 1 yard line, backed up. So this is a good way to add numbers to the box, even though pre-snap, it looks a little bit more spread. You've got 3 receivers set. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to motion in. Now we've got, essentially, we have a tight end and a fullback, 2 big bodies extra added to this formation. This is a really good job by the coordinator here. Okay, so that's a nice little variation you can add. Let's look at the next one here. So now we've got I believe this is a tight end body here. Okay, so we've got tight end. We got 3 by 1. Let's see what we're doing. This is just a basic inside zone away from the tight end. Okay, so now we're able to block everybody. There's no RPO. I want you to notice this. I used to be when I first discovered RPOs, it was like, okay, we're going to RPO every single play. And of course, as you advance and you learn more, you realize it's probably not the best thing to do. Okay, so in this case, we have an example of everybody's going to be picking people up. Okay, the only person who's unblocked here is going to be a corner and a safety who's 25 yards downfield. Okay, so the corner's the one who ends up making the tackle here. But if the corner's making the tackle, great, right? We're going to have extra hits to his body, which is a small body, okay, not like a linebacker or a safety. And he's not going to make the tackle until 10 yards downfield, which is great. Okay, so in this case, we load up the backside. This is one thing you'll see. You might think, well, this is the strong side. Okay, well, if we pick up everything on the backside and we block everything play side, okay, we can have this working up. And now we have, not sure if they have a safety coming into the box. I think they do on this. Let's see who this double team works up to. Okay, so the double team doesn't really work up to anybody. They just essentially stay on this the entire time. But if they were to release, technically they could work up to this guy here, and this backside double team could be working up to this backer who comes into the box here, 33. Okay, so this is just really kind of working out however it's going to play out post-snap. All right, but either way, that's a good little strategy there. Bunch up one side, run it away. This is an inside zone where they, instead of having him bluff, they're actually going to have this guy work across and block. Now, they add the little wrinkle with this motion. They've done that a ton, Dolphins do. And they run that wheel. They have the glance, and they have the flat route. They're known for that. They introduced that to the NFL last year. But in this case, we just run a regular inside zone, and this guy is going to be blocking. Okay, he's going to be blocking that. And also look what it does. I want you to watch these backers. Everybody's going to be flowing over. So he works over with this guy. Okay, that opens up a really big lane for him to run through. Okay, so this is awesome to see this as well. If you can add things like that in there. The motions, the backfield actions with people crossing, tight ends crossing is really, really beneficial. Next one here, we've got 2 receiver set here. We've got a double tight end. We got a tight end, single receiver here, but a tight look. Okay, this one, they're just going to be blocking everybody, running their basic inside zone. Nothing fancy about this. They're blocking the backside C-gap defender. There's no read. It's really good because we're under center here anyways. There's 2 ways, old school way that you can handle this is if you're under center, you just have to have your quarterback carry out the boot. I don't really like that too much because it's not too effective, I think. But you could also have this guy slam release work into the flats if you're going to do that. But if you're not going to block this backside, it's a lot more dangerous. So I like having somebody here to pick this up. That opens up that cutback lane a ton. Running back does a really good job of being patient. Okay, presses it, patient. He makes his cut. So this is a good job by him taking that. All right, now we have a messed up jet sweep here. Now this, to me, this is just poorly timed. So, you will see that even at the NFL level. But I assume what this is supposed to be is a full speed motion where he's going to leak out into the flats. And then we could essentially have a little boot and then throw a screen if we want to. That they could be setting that up for later, which is what they could do in that situation. But the timing is all jacked up with this, so he has to slow down. And your offensive lineman here as well. I think he's setting deep into the backfield here. Somebody's setting deep into the backfield, and that's also causing some problems with this. The left, no, it's the center just getting blown up, okay? So that'll also happen. You don't want that to occur, but that does happen. Either way, same situation. We're running away. This is the tackle over. So we have a tight end body here, but it's actually a tackle. It's not a tight end, but we do have that extra gap. So we're going to cover that on the backside if we're able to make that jump cut. Next one here, we have the quick across motion. This is something that was introduced to the NFL a ton last year. And let's take a look at this here. Easy way to do it. Quick motion, boom, and then he snaps it, right? Take a look at this. We're gonna go slow motion here. So I want you to watch to his hand, see the start of the motion, and then we'll see when the ball is snapped. So we're here, boom, go. That's it. He's only taken a step. Sorry, this guy. He's only taken one step here, okay? But he is sprinting. So now he's moving full speed. He has a little bit of head of steam, and that opens up that cutback lane because we're able to kick out the C-gap defender. You can also cut through the inside thigh, okay? You can also do that. That'll really open up that cutback lane too. And luckily, the running back's able to make somebody miss there. All right, now here's another one. This is a goal line situation. They have an arc release from their tight end, and they have a read zone look, okay? So I want you to look at this right here. I mean, we saw this a ton already. On the back side of inside zone, what you can do is you can have a tight end here and you can block this. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to watch this tight end's first step. This guy, watch his first movement. All right, this is going to be important here. See how he has a little bit of a hesitation? It makes it look like he's going to step in and block the guy, and then he leaves him. So this guy, he's doing what he's taught. He squeezes, quarterback keeps it, and then it's automatic, easy touchdown here, okay? So this is a really good goal line variation. If you have a quarterback who can scramble a little bit, okay, just decent with the ball in his hands running, then you can do this. I'm not an athletic guy, but even I could do something like this, okay? Let me rephrase that. Not the way he does it, right? He's a billion times more athletic than I am. But what I mean is you could have a read zone situation with a guy who does not run a 4.5. You can do this with a guy who runs a 4.9, and you can still have some type of success. I'm like a 5.2 probably right now, but we're not going to talk too much about that. But this is the inside zone variation. Reading this guy really puts him in a bad situation. He's gonna be wrong either way. Okay, even if they handed this, I think he probably would have gotten in. I really like this running back, by the way. He's a stud. But yeah, this is a great variation, especially if you have a quarterback who's insanely athletic. Try to get him the ball near the goal line because he's going to make some touchdowns. Alrighty, so that's it for the video. Hopefully you're able to steal some really good stuff from this and implement some of these things into your offense. As I said before, if you made it this far, I have a really cool resource that I want to share with you. This is something that I provide for the coaches inside my 21-day OC program to help them optimize their coaching systems. It's a self-assessment that helps you identify gaps in knowledge within your playbook creation system. Once you go through this, you'll know exactly what you need to work on and how you can optimize and maximize your offensive playbook. So if you want to grab this, click the link below and just tell me where to send it. I'll send it right over. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.